Well, the state launched a new dashboard today, which it says will track the cuts in federal funding to state programs.
WBZ political analyst John Keller, he actually looked through those cuts and shows us some of the people and the projects behind the raw numbers.
My girls have asthma.
But they're no longer struggling to breathe thanks to a state program that removed the mold from their home. However, that program has now been cut.
Primary care, immunizations, chronic disease management, mental health services. And it's all going to happen on New Bedford High's campus.
Make that was going to happen. The feds have pulled back COVID relief funds slated for New Bedford's school-based health center, with the U.S. Secretary of Education's office disparaging the project as irrelevant to COVID recovery. Nurse practitioner Alex Weiner has spent 7 years promoting this project.
I think this is one of the most forward-thinking uses of COVID relief money.
And good luck to the Chelsea businesses like the New England Produce Center that have to deal with significant flooding all too often. Federal defunding of the Island End River Flood Barrier Project jeopardizes more than $7 billion worth of economic activity and the safety of thousands of residents, according to Chelsea officials. Is there wasteful government spending? Of course there is. But when you're cutting in haste with a chainsaw, can it be a surprise that mistakes are made and people are hurt?
Health and Human Services in the state affects 1 in 3 people across the Commonwealth. So these cuts will hurt people in your family, your neighbors, your elderly parents. These cuts are hitting human beings.
I think a lot of the cuts we're seeing at the federal level are indiscriminate, right? They're algorithmic, right? This is about people. If any human evaluated this project and sat down and looked at the numbers and looked at the research, how could they say no to this?
John Keller here now. John, you mentioned that there is a lot of wasteful spending out there, but also a very large budget deficit. So how can the conflict between real needs and real spending, how can that be reconciled?
Yeah, easier said than done, right, David? It's a tough one, and it looks like that'll be up to the courts in the short term. For instance, that New Bedford High Health Center cut is part of an ongoing lawsuit. So right now, though, Congress is wrestling with proposed cuts that have aroused bipartisan protests. We've been reporting on that. How that battle comes out, I think, will help tell us what government will and won't be able to help people with going forward. That'll be a real priority setter.
Big battle over dollars right now.
As always.
All right, John Keller, thank you so much.